Yeah, it's NewsHouse Sports. We talking SU Lacrosse. We got Jack Schlafly, Marcus, and by their side, Will Scott. I said his face off time, Danny Varello on all them. No one scoring like him. You know I'm talking Nate Solomon. Bomberry with the celly, Damadano with the save, Donahue with the goal, and Taylor Gate away. Another block. Yeah, that's goal stock. Hope you ready for the show. You watch a goal line extended. Let's go.
Hello, and welcome to this week's edition of Goal Line Extended, presented by the NewsHouse. I'm Will Muoio. Here I have Marcus Gronauer and Jack Schlafly, and we're going to be talking about all things Syracuse lacrosse. First, we'll start with Marcus. Talk us through the Syracuse women's game this weekend.
Well, let's get right into the highlights. Syracuse taking on Virginia. Both teams entered this opening conference game undefeated at 3-0. Syracuse got out to an early 8-4 lead in the first half, but Virginia responded with a run of its own. First, it's Anna Hagerup getting one past Goldstock, and right after that, Casey Bear gets her first goal of the game. And how about this finesse shot by Nicole Levy? Behind the back, definitely hashtag SC Top 10 worthy, and she celebrates with her teammates. And now you see Julie Cross losing the draw for SU, which leads to a goal from Casey Bear, and it's 10-9 Virginia after she puts this one in the net. She went all the way down the field on this one, making it look easy. And right after that, who other than Casey Bear again to continue the second half scoring burst for UVA, and that was her fourth goal in the game. And here's the Lily DiNardo free position goal, putting the Cavaliers up 15-14. Now it's crunch time for SU, down 1. Syracuse with the ball, but not for long. Syracuse gets penalized, turns it over, giving the ball back to Virginia and giving away the game as well. Syracuse fails to start the season 4-0, something Coach Gates' team has done each of the past 4 seasons.
Syracuse losing that one 17-16 in Charlottesville. Marcus, what went wrong for Coach Gates' team?
Well, I think 2 things went wrong. One is draws. Syracuse had just 14 draw controls in this game compared to UVA's 20. And when you're a high-powered offense like Syracuse is, with Emily Harris-Chuck, and you don't get those possessions, you're not going to win a majority of your games just because you rely so much on that offense. You have to get possessions. And then another thing that went wrong in this game were fouls. Syracuse had a ton of fouls in this game, and actually those fouls led to 8 free position shots for Virginia, and they converted 5 of them. So 5 goals for Virginia directly from fouls, and that was a big difference in this game.
You bring up a high-power offense. Emily Harris-Chuck with 4 goals, the third time this season that she scored 4 goals in a game. How important has she been for this Orange offense?
I mean, she's been absolutely vital to this team's success. Coming into this season, it was all about Riley Donahue, and rightfully so. She dominated last season for this team, really did it all. But, she's come alive this season. She's been absolutely huge, and she's going to be huge for this team moving forward if it wants to have success and postseason success as well.
The Orange currently at 3-1. Their next game is Wednesday against Florida. What does Syracuse have to do in this game to grab a win?
Well, they better focus really hard on this game because this Florida team's no joke. They're number 3 in the country, just knocked off a top 5 team in North Carolina last week, 17-10, really convincing win. And another thing about this Florida team is that they've already played a lot of good teams, and they've won a lot of those games as well. They've already played 4 top 25 teams, and they went 3-1 in those games. So this one's definitely going to be another tough test for Syracuse.
Syracuse hosting the Florida Gators Wednesday at 2 p.m. in the Carrier Dome. Now into the men's side, Jack. Men's had different success on Sunday's game.
A 12-11 win, absolutely fantastic game. Thriller, let's get right into the highlights. So let's jump right into it. Syracuse on the break. Tyler Ford, the redshirt junior, is going to bang that home bottom left. Absolute rip of a goal. And now Virginia, Ryan Conrad's going to answer his goal, going to get to his left hand. Nice finish right there. Syracuse going to work the ball around, and an absolute rip once again. That's Tucker Dordovic. He had 2 goals from him right here. We're going to see a second one, and that had the Orange up 8-5 with 13 minutes left in the third quarter. Virginia's going to catch post right there, scare for the Orange, but they're going to get it back down on the offensive end. Possessions were key, and that's an absolute banger of a goal. Virginia not able to D that up, and Jamie Trimboli makes a nice cut into space right there for the Orange. They're man up right there, which they haven't had much of this season. taking advantage right there. Bomberry with a nice pass. Virginia would work their way back into this game. And it's going to be long pole Jared Connors, the defender for the Cavaliers, that goal. But guess who? Tucker Dordovic again with the drop step spin, bottom left. And that's going to give Syracuse the 12-11 win. You see right there, 12.4 seconds left when Dordovic got that goal. And as I said, an absolute thriller of a game.
12-11 win there for the Syracuse Orange. How does his first ACC win of the season affect Coach Desko's team?
Will, it's so important because the ACC is so deep. There are 5 teams. All 5 teams are in the top 11 of the NCAA standings right now. You know, these teams are so good, and when Syracuse goes to play a team like Duke on March 24th in Durham, you know, they better be ready, and they better have guys like Danny Varela, who was on his game against Virginia. Better have guys like that ready because the ACC is so deep, and it's so key to get off to a good start.
12 goals in this game for the Orange. How has the offense done so far this year?
Well, the offense has just been so predicated on Danny Varela, and I said it just before. You know, these faceoffs were big. He was 16 for 26 against Virginia, and we came out with a win. We saw him against Albany and Army. He struggled a little bit. Our offense wasn't able to get in rhythm. Guys like Nate Solomon, Tucker Dordovic, and Bomberry just weren't able to get in rhythm, and that's so key in lacrosse because when you don't have possessions and you're not on the offensive end, you can't get into a rhythm. You start forcing things a little bit, and so many teams have good players, but it's so predicated on the faceoff X.
Orange right now, like the women, are at 3-1, playing Johns Hopkins Saturday at 1 p.m. What are they looking forward to in this game?
Well, Johns Hopkins is an interesting team. They're 2-2 right now. They've played some good teams. They beat Towson 14-6, who was a Final Four team last year. So they definitely have great potential. They're obviously another ranked team, as I said. But I think the Orange are going to be ready for this contest. It's such a tough schedule coming up. You know, Rutgers, and then they get into the ACC schedule with Duke and Notre Dame. So this is just the beginning of a tough road for the Orange, but they're definitely getting ready.
Syracuse and Johns Hopkins playing in the Carrier Dome Saturday at 1 p.m. That's this week's edition of Goal Line Extended. For Marcus Gronauer and Jack Schlafly, I'm Will Muoio. See you next week.